For more on the John Terry case now, joining us from our central London studio is the former football manager and player, Bobby Gould. Good to talk to you, Bobby. Do you think this case should ever have ended up in court?
Jane, no way. We are a family of footballers. We should never have allowed this case to go this far as a unit. And as far as I'm concerned, professional footballers, we are one. And that's as we are as a unit.
A family of footballers, and everyone knows in families lots of things are said in the heat of the moment that you probably wouldn't want repeated. But he didn't say this in front of his family. He said this on a football pitch with thousands of people watching on television and in the stadium. Do you think there's a place for this kind of language on the football pitch?
Jane, there is a heat of the game, and perhaps sometimes people get carried away in the heat of the game. And if that does occur, then I started playing in the first team, Jane, in 1963, and not every camera followed me every minute of every game. And I'm sure during that period that some of my language was diabolical. And the same is attributed to every professional footballer. We have good days and we have bad days. But to take it this far, as perhaps the PFA or why don't they step in at times with Gordon Taylor speaking to players? Should it have come out of Lostless Road? Those are the questions that professional footballers want answered because they've got their careers in front of them.
So do you think the FA should have done more in the first instance?
Oh yeah, I have no doubt about that. You know, the FA now will be coming into a situation of picking up all the bits and pieces that have come out of this court of law today, and I'm sure that they will digest for a long time before they make decisions.
I know you say that there has been bad language on the football pitch for many years, and obviously things are very different now than they are in the 60s. We have a great deal more black players on our football pitches these days, and there's been a lot done behind the scenes to try to stop racism, the Kick It Out of Football campaign for one. Do you think that they are succeeding if we do see language like this, however it is said, however heated the moment?
We can all learn from lessons. This surely should be a lesson to the younger professionals coming through, to the players that are playing at this moment. I played with Clyde Best, a black player that played for West Ham United, and was a great person. I signed black players. I signed Cyril Regis for Coventry City. I signed Eric Young for Wimbledon. And we had no more crazier gang than we had at Wimbledon, Jane, and we possessed black footballers there, and we mixed, we lived daily, and we lived together throughout that period of the crazy gang, and we enjoyed it.
I don't know if I'm just being particularly naive, but why is there any excuse for the kind of language and the kind of taunting that we see on football pitches these days? We certainly don't see it in all other team sports, do we? It seems to be rather specific to football.
Jane, I think there is sport out there. There's sledging in cricket. If you hear some of the batsmen when they first go in, you ask some of the professional cricketers and rugby players. You know, unfortunately, we have to make sure that we can control it. But sometimes when you're out there, Jane, it is very, very difficult. Perhaps, you know, there's history between you and another player. You know I had problems with Johnny Giles and with Billy Bremner at Leeds as an individual. And they might have said things to me. But as an individual, you have to take that on board, and you have to make sure that you want to play well for yourself. You want to play well in that game to prove them to those players that you're better than what they think they are or what they're saying to you.
Do you think there's any concern, though, that this might deter people on the pitch who are the victim of racist abuse from perhaps coming forward?
No, it should never do that. We saw Luther Blissett early on in your programme, Jane, and he was saying, you know, we don't want anybody bullied. We are a family, and as a family we must unite. We must stay together. And if somebody done something wrong, and John Terry or Anton Ferdinand or Rio Ferdinand or even Bobby Gould, who's a pundit these days, you know, we must be taken to task and say, look, this is the correct way to proceed, and that's the way we want to take professional football.
Bobby Gould, good to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.